this was very somber. I gotta admit, it was very somber. What uh, this chapter of Bleach. So for starters, I want to say that the first half of this chapter, for me personally, was very depressing. To see Zaraki Kenpachi yelling out in agony. Even Cone felt that, alright? Even Cone felt that. Like no bull crap though. Like seriously, that first half of the chapter had some very depressingness to it because it was just like to see Zaraki there in agony over her death, and it's more so. It's I think it's more than just the fact that of the battle of having a worthy opponent, because he knows that there's worthy opponents out there. You know, he just lost to some people. I think it's more so that he started to feel some feelings for Unohana. Maybe he's had some for her, and seeing that she's the perfect woman for him. She can kick ass. He can have epic battles with her. And maybe, she's just the type of girl that he's been looking for. So I really appreciated the way that was relayed. In my opinion, that was just beautiful, a little depressing, but very beautiful. And overall, I just love that. And the speech that Unohana gave to him, it just really felt like something that you would get out of for some reason, I get the feeling of like from a short anime where a romance just goes very south. And the way it was approached is just really Kubo did an excellent job with the first half of the chapter. I was just really impressed. And for those that didn't catch that or didn't understand what the voice was that was calling out to Zaraki, obviously that's from his Zanpakuto. He probably finally is going to have his Bankai. I can't wait to see what the hell it is. It'll probably be a long time because obviously Kubo wanted to give that cliffhanger, bam, and we won't see this for a long time. He'll probably show up whenever the war goes down. So I'd imagine us not seeing Zaraki for a long time. But in all honesty, I don't want Unohana to die in many different aspects. First of all, on a war aspect, I don't want her to die. It's ridiculous for her to die, and just as a character, getting to know her, because these past couple of chapters was really just giving us the most we've ever seen of Unohana, giving the most character development, just us learning more about her than we've ever known, because up to this point has always been a facade of, quiet and healing. So for her to die, it just seems very senseless, and I don't think she's gonna die. I think that for some reason I feel like she's gonna live through this, and this isn't the type of situation where, like, at first I was thinking, okay, this is probably gonna get on my nerves, like the Byakuya thing. But I actually want her to survive because I think it's senseless for her to die on team combat, basically awakening Zaraki. And I would just love to see Zaraki be happy, not only just be this brute that's always looking for another battle, but have a woman that can. Every man needs a woman, right? So yeah, that's just really my thoughts on the first half of the chapter. I really just appreciated the beautifulness of their relationship, as sick and twisted and complex as it is. Deep down, it's just a man and a woman, and that's really what I got from that first half. Can't wait to see the Bankai. It was a nice little treat to see the previous Kenpachi, and when Zaraki went up to him, that was pretty interesting to see. Now the second half of the chapter, this Oetsu guy has some balls, and honestly, it was kind of pathetic to see Ichigo there on the floor. I'm not gonna lie, I was just like, dude, what the hell? Renji passed and you didn't, Renji? Like, no disrespect, but Renji ain't been doing shit for a very long time. So to see that Renji passed, I think more so Renji passed probably because he's just been more closer with the spirit within his Zanpakuto, his the being within it. I think that's really what the test was and what helped Renji pass, because obviously Ichigo's in a whole other league than Renji. Battle wise, strength wise, speed wise, everything, he's more formidable. I think this test really just was testing the bond between him and his Zanpakuto, and the spirit within it. And Ichigo, like, let's be real, he's just been a dick. That's always just like, whenever I need powers on Getsu, I'm begging you, please give me. But other than that, he never really shows that he actually cares. He never like sits down and has a chat with the man. Never anything. So yeah, this is exactly what happens. And the word that he kept throwing around, Oetsu, Asachiu, or I forgot the exact term, but I believe that's actually the name of your Zanpakuto. I looked it up. It's the name of your Zanpakuto before it has a name, before you figure out its name or something like that. So the fact that it didn't choose him, I was a little confused with that. I guess it's just the form of how he selects who's formidable to pass his test and whatnot. And basically, Oetsu is just kicking him out, saying leave Soul Society as well. Obviously, it's not going to go down like that. It's not just going to be, well, Ichigo's back at home. Or if it is, it'll just be that Ichigo needs to go and figure out for himself what's wrong. But it would be a waste, to be honest with you. If he goes back home and we see him sitting back in his room depressed, it'll be a waste getting all the way to the palace, then to go back and then try to come back. It'll be a very big waste. I hope that's not the case is what's going to happen. I hope that maybe Zangetsu interjects and comes out somehow even though it's broken, or something like that. Because in all honesty, I don't like the direction of that. I don't want to see Ichigo back at home depressed. We saw enough of that in the Full Brain arc. I don't want to see that. So yeah, I don't like the direction where that is particularly going. It's just like, Ichigo, can you do something, dude? Can you stop this dude from kicking you out? Because as of right now, like, he even lunged at him and dude had him. So that's just my thoughts on that. First half of the chapter, a masterpiece. That's just my thoughts. Like, the first half of the chapter, a masterpiece. Second half of the chapter, it's interesting. I will say that it's interesting that just Ichigo has such a, excuse my language, fucked up relationship with his Zanpakuto that it really just affects everything now. Because it's, in all honesty, the way Oetsu looks like, he looks like the type of person that he values relationships and friendships over anything, over power and everything. And he's pissed off at this guy. It's like, dude, you don't have a relationship with? Nah. And I guess you can appreciate that at the same time, but I don't want the direction to be a trip back to the real world. No, we've come too far to go back. So, yeah, overall, as a whole, the chapter, it seems as though it was two chapters in one because we got like two different worlds and two different things going on. But I would definitely have to give it still, because of that first half was so strong. I would have said 3.5 because I just wasn't feeling the second half because I don't like the direction it's going. But the first half was still too strong. So it'll get a 4 as well from me this particular week because I just love that first half. Like, maybe I connect so much with the characters or something, but I just love the relationship because, you know, in shonen manga, there's rare instances of romance. And a sick and twisted romance like this that still has some oomph to it, I can appreciate. And I think that the way he was shouting out and seeing that he seemingly is finally going to activate his Bankai and he's going to know the name of his Zanpakuto, his Shikai and whatnot, I'm excited. I'm really excited. So I can't wait. So, yeah, let me know what you thought of the chapter, though. What do you think Zaraki's Bankai is going to be? Do you think Unohana is going to die? Me, personally, I think it's leading more towards she will show up with Zaraki when the right time is. Because I don't want her to die. I mean, she had those freaking ketos that she was healing when they were melting their skin, seemingly, even though we still don't know her Bankai. In all honesty, that was, you gotta admit, like, what the hell was that? Was that an illusion? Was that real? So if she has ketos to heal, I don't see why she can't heal that, you know, stab to the stomach. And I really hope she does because I don't want to see her die. But what do you think? Will she die? And also, what's going to happen with Ichigo? Is he going to take a trip back to the real world? Or is he going to figure out what he needs to figure out at this very instant and not get kicked out by Oetsu? Do you even want him to go back to the real world? Are you looking at that direction like, because to me personally, I don't want that. I think that's stupid and we don't need to go that direction. But yeah, that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for that first half of the chapter because, man, it was powerful. It was emotionally powerful, and I love seeing stuff like that. I would love to see more, to be honest with you. If we could get more of that in shonen manga and anime, it would be great because I think it adds a nice spice to it, and such a crazy, messed up relationship like that, and it still has some oomph to it, and I love seeing that. But yeah, me and Kona are just gonna go chill right now. We're gonna kick back and enjoy because this was a pretty kick-ass Bleach chapter with some epicness to it. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.